Today, we revisit the ingenious household staples that once felt indispensable, but have since slipped quietly into history. Mangle Wringer Washing Machine. Let's turn back to the early 20th century when laundry was a strenuous chore, demanding considerable effort and time. Women in the household often had to use washboards to scrub clothes, then wring out each item by hand, leaving their hands rough and sore. Immediately after the Mangle Wringer washing machine was introduced, it marked a significant advancement, a cutting-edge tool for its time. It combined a basic washing mechanism with two large hand-cranked rollers. After clothes were washed in a simple tub, they would be fed through these two rollers. As you turned the handle, the rollers would press tightly together, wringing out water from the clothes much more effectively than hand-wringing. It was a great relief not to have to use one's own strength to wring out heavy fabric anymore. Although it still required a lot of effort and posed certain dangers such as the risk of getting fingers or clothes caught in the rollers, it significantly reduced the labor burden. It was bulky, took up a lot of space, but at that time, it was truly revolutionary. Waffle irons with detachable plates. Do you love crispy waffles for breakfast? Before modern non-stick electric waffle makers became common, there was a simple yet incredibly durable tool that helped create delicious waffles. Waffle irons with detachable plates. The way it was used was quite classic. You would pour waffle batter onto the hot plates, then close them and flip them evenly to cook both sides. What was special about this iron was that the plates could be detached, making cleaning much easier after use. Furthermore, these plates often had intricate and beautiful patterns, creating waffles with appealing shapes. It was a symbol of simplicity and reliability, requiring no electricity, operating entirely on heat from a fire. Imagine a weekend morning, the whole family preparing batter together, and the sizzling sound of waffle batter on the stovetop, the sweet aroma filling the house. This iron not only made waffles, but also created warm family moments. Shoe buffers. In an era when shiny shoes were a symbol of respect, professionalism, and polite demeanor, maintaining perfectly polished leather shoes was an art and a necessity. Professional shoe shining services were very popular, but then shoe buffers emerged, bringing this convenience right into the home. This compact machine typically ran on a motor, equipped with rotating brushes or pads. Users simply held their shoes to the machine and the motor would automatically do the polishing, restoring a like-new shine to their leather shoes. Some more advanced models even had the ability to automatically dispense shoe polish, transforming shoe polishing from a time-consuming manual task into a quick and efficient process. Imagine a gentleman preparing for his workday, needing only a few minutes with this machine, and his leather shoes were perfect, reflecting light and neatness. It saved time and enhanced personal image, affirming social status. The shoe buffer was a small but meaningful convenience, making it easier to maintain a dapper appearance. Vacuum coffee makers. For coffee lovers in the early to mid-20th century, the vacuum coffee maker was a symbol of style, elegance, and a touch of science fiction in the kitchen. It offered a unique brewing experience, almost like a magical ritual. The way this machine worked was truly impressive. It utilized the principles of steam pressure and vacuum suction. Water was heated in the lower chamber, creating steam and pressure that pushed the hot water up into the upper chamber, where the ground coffee was. After the coffee was steeped and extracted, when the heat source was turned off, the condensing steam would create a vacuum, pulling the brewed coffee back into the lower chamber, leaving the clean coffee grounds in the upper chamber. Each morning, families would often gather around the stove, watching this miraculous brewing process as water moved between the two clear glass chambers. It would produce a clean, rich cup of coffee just as expected, but its beauty came with some complexity. The machine was fragile, difficult to clean, and the brewing process required attention. Butter churns. In many rural and even urban households in the 19th and early 20th centuries, having fresh butter was not a given but the result of diligent weekly labor. Churning butter. Butter churns were central to this process, transforming fresh cream into golden, delicious blocks of butter. The operation of a butter churn was quite simple but required persistence. Fresh cream was poured into a container, then a hand crank or piston system was used to continuously agitate it. This process would cause the fat molecules in the cream to clump together, separating from the liquid, buttermilk, forming solid butter. This work was like a sensory experience, an activity that brought family members together. Children would be taught about self-reliance, about creating a product from raw ingredients, about waiting and the rewards of labor. The rhythmic clack-clack sound of the churn, the smell of fresh cream, and the anticipation of the first piece of butter all created an unforgettable childhood memory. Thanks for watching. To see more content, comment yes to let us know you're still watching. Toaster ovens with rollers. In the bustling atmosphere of mid-20th century diners and cafes, where crispy toast was an indispensable part of breakfast, toaster ovens with rollers made a special mark. This was a unique innovation, an efficient solution for toasting large quantities of bread with consistent quality. The mechanism of this oven was quite clever. Bread was placed on a conveyor belt, slowly moving through heating elements. This process ensured that each slice of bread was evenly toasted golden brown on both sides without the user having to manually flip it. Convenience and speed were the biggest strengths of this device, especially in restaurants and diners where quick and consistent service was needed. Living in this era, you would be familiar with these toaster ovens working non-stop every morning, the fragrant smell of toast filling the space, bringing warmth and familiarity. However, the development of simpler pop-up toasters for homes and the advent of more versatile modern electric ovens gradually led these roller toaster ovens to disappear from kitchens. They had fulfilled their mission of providing perfect slices of toast for a generation. Ironing stoves. Before the convenient and safe electric irons we have today became widespread, flattening clothes was a task requiring skill, patience, and sometimes even courage. That was the era of ironing stoves. An ironing stove was not an iron itself, but a small heat source, typically fueled by charcoal, gas, or wood. Its purpose was to heat heavy cast iron irons. Imagine a thick metal iron, placed over a flame until red hot, then used to smooth out every wrinkle on clothes. To avoid burns and damaging fabric, users needed special skills in controlling the iron's temperature, often testing its heat on a scrap piece of fabric. Sometimes they would even sprinkle a little water on the fabric to create natural steam, helping to flatten more effectively. This was truly an art of ironing. It demanded high concentration, the ability to sense temperature by hand, and utmost caution to avoid burns or scorching the fabric. The gentle smell of burning charcoal or wood, the steam rising from the fabric, and the soft sizzle as the iron touched the clothes created a unique atmosphere of meticulousness and care. Coal-fired stoves. Let's move to a symbol of self-sufficiency, of a simple yet fulfilling life. In many households from before to the mid-20th century, especially in cold climates, coal-fired stoves were not just cooking appliances. They were the center of the home, the sole source of heat, and a place where families gathered. On cold winter nights, the glowing embers from these heavy cast iron stoves provided warmth and comfort. These stoves were typically made of heavy cast iron with compartments for coal and ash. Cooking on a coal stove required skill and time. Temperature was controlled by managing the coal fire inside, adding or removing coal, and adjusting the airflow. This meant the cook had to be experienced to know how to maintain a stable temperature for each dish, from slow simmering to quick boiling. The space around the coal stove was where family members would gather, tell stories, warm their hands, and create memories together. The gentle smell of burning coal, the crackling sound of embers, and the warmth spreading throughout the room created a distinctive atmosphere of that era. Manual ice crushers. In the mid-20th century, as enjoying refreshing cocktails or desserts became an essential part of parties and family gatherings, manual ice crushers became a staple item. Before electric blenders became widespread, this was the only way to get small pieces of ice, perfect for drinks. This machine typically had a simple but effective design, a hand-crank device. Users simply placed cold ice cubes into the top compartment, then turned the handle steadily. Inside, blades or grinding shafts would work, transforming ice cubes into smaller crushed ice fragments, perfect for mixing drinks. Using a manual ice crusher not only yielded the desired result, but was also a delightful tactile experience. The clinking sound of ice, the feel of the force from the crank, and the satisfaction of seeing small ice pieces fall into the tray were all part of the mixing ritual. Some models were even designed with intricate decorative details, transforming them into beautiful items on a home bar. Electric shoe dryers. For those living in harsh climates or athletes who frequently faced soaking wet shoes after training, electric shoe dryers in the mid-20th century were a practical solution, providing comfort and hygiene. This machine was typically compact, with a small heating unit that emitted warm air. This warm air would circulate through carefully placed tubes or vents inside the shoes, helping to dry the entire interior quickly and effectively. The discomfort of wearing damp shoes was quickly banished, as the shoe dryer offered relief. Its primary function was to keep feet comfortable, prevent odors, and inhibit the growth of bacteria or mold in a damp environment. It also extended the lifespan of footwear, especially expensive leather shoes or athletic shoes. Have you ever had any of these dishes? Tell me which dish brings back the most memories of your childhood. Electric carpet sweepers. In the early to mid-20th century, keeping carpets and rugs clean was a major challenge. Before vacuum cleaners became popular, electric carpet sweepers emerged as a revolutionary solution, simplifying daily cleaning tasks. This machine was much more compact and lighter than early cumbersome vacuum cleaners. It worked by using rotating brushes powered by a small motor to pick up dirt and debris from carpets. Instead of relying on strong vacuum suction, it depended on the mechanical action of the brushes to sweep and collect dust. These machines were very easy to use, quiet, and more affordable than early vacuum cleaners. They were ideal for light cleaning, quickly tidying small areas without having to pull out a large machine. Some models even had removable dust trays, making emptying dust convenient. Electric carpet sweepers helped many families maintain cleanliness in their homes more easily. Meat safes. In warm climates, preserving food, especially meat, before the advent of refrigerators was a constant battle against time and insects. Meat safes emerged as a clever and essential solution, helping to slow down food spoilage. This cabinet was typically made of wood or metal, characterized by sides made of fine mesh or perforated tin. This design allowed air to circulate freely inside, providing natural cooling while still preventing insects and pests from entering. For optimal effectiveness, the safe was usually placed in a shaded area, away from direct sunlight. If you were a housewife in the 19th century, you would understand the careful feeling of placing fresh meat, cheese, or other perishable foods into this cabinet, trusting that they would be preserved safely for a bit longer. Some safes also had tall legs to prevent small animals like mice from accessing them. Some models even featured beautiful decorative designs, transforming them into pieces of furniture. Hand-cranked food processors. Before modern electric blenders or food processors became indispensable kitchen aids, cutting, mixing, or grinding vegetables, nuts, and many other ingredients required a great deal of effort and time. Hand-cranked food processors emerged as a powerful and versatile solution, significantly simplifying these tasks. This device typically consisted of a sturdy bowl and blades or rotors turned by a hand crank. Users simply placed ingredients into the bowl, then turned the handle and the blades would perform the cutting, mixing, or grinding work. It was a manual device, but incredibly effective in transforming strenuous tasks into a more controlled process. The hand-cranked food processor was a symbol of reliability and durability. It didn't require electricity, could operate anywhere, bringing a hands-on feel to cooking. Imagine a home cook grinding nuts, cutting vegetables for a stew, or mixing dough for baking more quickly and efficiently than with a conventional knife and cutting board. This machine was part of the creative process in the kitchen, where patience and effort created delicious dishes. Ice boxes. Before electric refrigerators became commonplace in every home, keeping food fresh was a major challenge, especially in places without cold climates. Think about hot summer days. How to keep milk from spoiling, meat from going bad, or butter from melting? The solution to this problem was the ice box. From the late 19th to the early 20th century, ice boxes were a staple, an indispensable item in households. At first glance, they might resemble modern refrigerators, but they were primarily made of wood with an inner lining of metal or tin for insulation. Their secret lay in a large block of ice placed in the top compartment. Cold air from the ice block would slowly circulate down to the lower compartment, cooling the food stored inside. Using an ice box was not simple. Families had to replace the ice block daily and regularly empty the drip tray for melted water. This was a meticulous and frequent task, sometimes requiring the help of an ice delivery person for replenishment. Despite being inconvenient by modern standards, ice boxes revolutionized food storage, helping to preserve milk, butter, and meat longer and reduce waste. Rotary phones with built-in dialers. In an era when communication technology was still in its early stages of development, rotary phones with built-in dialers represented the pinnacle of convenience and connection. Before smartphones, this was the only gateway to communicate with the outside world, bringing news, information, and important conversations. A prominent feature of this phone was a circular dial with numbers from 0 to 9. To make a call, users had to dial the disc for each digit in the phone number, pulling their finger into the number hole and rotating clockwise until it stopped, then releasing and repeating for subsequent digits. This process not only required patience, but also precision. Each call made from a rotary phone brought a more intentional and personal feeling. The sturdy construction and mechanical precision of the dial provided a certain reliability. The familiar click of the rotating dial, the weight as it returned to its original position, and the beep-beep sound before connection were characteristic experiences of that era. Are there any other devices we missed? Let us know in the comments. Wood-fired water heaters. In many households, especially in rural areas and some urban areas in the early to mid-20th century, having hot water for daily needs like bathing, washing clothes, and dishes was not a readily available convenience, but a process requiring preparation and effort. Wood-fired water heaters were the primary solution at that time. This device operated on a simple but effective principle. Users had to build and maintain a small fire beneath a metal tank containing water. The fire would heat the tank, and the water inside would gradually warm up. This process required careful supervision to ensure the fire burned evenly, did not overheat, and did not run out of fuel. Using a wood-fired water heater was a labor-intensive task, but it offered self-sufficiency and reliability. It not only provided hot water, but also served as an auxiliary heat source for the living space in cold weather. The faint scent of wood smoke, the crackling sound of burning wood, and the warmth from the hot water created by one's own efforts were characteristic experiences. This also posed some safety risks, such as burns or house fires if not carefully monitored. As electric and gas water heaters became more accessible and affordable in the mid-20th century, with superior convenience and safety, wood-fired water heaters gradually faded into obscurity. Radiant room. In cold winters before central heating systems became widespread, keeping the home warm was a top priority. Radiant room heaters emerged as an effective solution for warming small spaces, bringing coziness and comfort. This heater worked by emitting heat from glowing metal coils or ceramic discs. Heat was directly transferred to people and objects around it, rather than warming the entire air in the room. It was a compact and portable device, allowing users to easily move it to wherever warmth was most needed. Many models of radiant room heaters also had stylish casings, reflecting Art Deco or mid-century aesthetics, transforming them not just into utilitarian devices, but also into decorative furniture pieces. Each winter evening, the whole family would gather around the small heater, enjoying the gentle warmth, reading books, or chatting. It was a cozy focal point for those family gatherings. However, because the heating elements were often exposed, they posed a relatively high risk of fire. Percolators. For coffee lovers, the steady bubbling sound of percolators every morning became an indispensable part, synonymous with starting a new day in many households. Before drip coffee makers and single-serve machines became popular, the percolator was the gold standard for brewing a rich and fragrant cup of coffee. The way a percolator worked was quite unique. Water was boiled in the lower chamber, then pushed through a tube to the top. This hot water would then flow over the coffee grounds placed in a filter basket and slowly drip back into the pot. This process would repeat multiple times until the coffee reached the desired strength. This pot produced a cup of coffee with a distinctive, rich, fragrant flavor. A charming detail was that it often had a small glass knob on top, allowing users to observe the brewing process, watching the dark coffee drops flow down. Brewing with a percolator required careful attention to avoid coffee becoming bitter from over-extraction. Hair dryers with hoods. In the 1950s and 1960s, when elaborate and voluminous hairstyles were in vogue, drying hair was not just a simple task, but a prolonged beauty ritual. Hair dryers with hoods became a symbol of luxury and convenience, bringing the salon experience home. This device consisted of a large dome-shaped hood, connected to a hose and a base containing the heating element. Warm air would be blown evenly into the hood, helping to dry hair uniformly and effectively. The special feature was that users could sit comfortably, read, watch TV, or do other tasks while their hair was drying, without having to manually hold a hairdryer. The process of drying hair with this machine might be slower than modern handheld dryers, but it provided even and stable heat, ideal for creating complex hairstyles and maintaining volume. It offered a pampered, salon-like feeling. Vacuum tube radios? At a time when communication technology was still in its infancy, vacuum tube radios created a true revolution. They opened the door to the outside world, bringing news, music, drama, and entertainment into every living room, becoming a central part of family life. These radios were often large wooden devices, beautifully crafted with intricate designs, transforming them into luxurious furniture pieces. Inside, vacuum tubes worked to amplify sound, producing a rich and warm audio quality, a characteristic that many people are nostalgic for today. The gentle glow emitted from the vacuum tubes when the radio was operating was also a special highlight. Do you remember the feeling of listening to the latest news, soothing melodies, or an engaging radio play every evening? The advent of transistor technology in the 1950s completely changed the landscape. Transistor technology allowed for the creation of smaller, cheaper, more portable, and more energy-efficient radios. Crockpot, Naxon Beanery, slow cooker. The need for a convenient, less time-consuming cooking solution that still ensured delicious meals led to the creation of the crock-pot, initially named the Naxon Beanery. This device was developed by Irving Naxon in 1971, inspired by his grandmother's Lithuanian bean soup. Naxon filed a patent for an integrated cooking appliance in 1936, addressing the issue of uneven heat by allowing heat to distribute more uniformly throughout the pot. The crock-pot was advertised as a convenient way to cook, and a revolutionary tool for working women, helping them prepare nutritious meals without having to constantly tend to the stove. In 1970, rival manufacturing acquired Naxon and renamed the device Crock-Pot in 1972, selling it for about $25, a stable price to this day. The first version came in classic 1970s colors like avocado, harvest gold, and copper, accompanied by its own cookbook. This was a slow-cooking device with an integrated pot inside a housing that contained the heating element, ensuring even heat distribution, transforming simple ingredients into rich dishes. The crock-pot revolutionized slow cooking, making stews and soups easier than ever before. Molinex Salad Spinner. In the 1970s, as healthy eating trends and fresh salads grew in popularity, preparing greens to be clean and dry while maintaining crispness was an important step. The Molinex Salad Spinner, introduced by Molinex, emerged to simplify this task, becoming a symbol of kitchen convenience in the 1970s. This machine had a large plastic bowl with a colander-like basket inside. Users simply placed washed lettuce into the basket, closed the lid, and turned the handle. Centrifugal force would spin excess water off the greens, draining it to the bottom of the bowl, leaving the lettuce quickly dry. This device effectively removed excess moisture, keeping lettuce crisp longer and making salad preparation quicker and less messy. The Molinex Salad Spinner freed many homemakers from the manual task of wringing greens with a towel, bringing convenience and efficiency to the kitchen. Cookie gun and pastry decorator. For baking enthusiasts in the 1930s and 1940s, especially during the holiday season, creating intricately shaped and beautiful cookies like those from professional bakers was a dream. The cookie gun and pastry decorator made that dream a reality, bringing creativity and precision to home baking. This was a handy tube-shaped device often made of metal with an attractive retro design. It worked by placing cookie dough into the tube and attaching a shaping disc with various designs like stars, flowers, hearts, or festive shapes to the end of the tube. When the user pressed the piston or squeezed the handle, the dough would be pressed through the disc, creating desired cookie shapes easily and uniformly. This machine helped bakers create impressive cookies without professional skills, saving time and effort compared to manually rolling and cutting dough. With the development of pre-made cookie dough and the variety of other cake decorating techniques, the cookie gun and pastry decorator gradually became less common, though still favored by traditional baking enthusiasts. Deus coffee grinder. In the mid-20th century, for coffee connoisseurs, enjoying a perfect cup of coffee started with freshly ground beans right at home. Before convenient electric grinders became widespread, the Deus coffee grinder, manufactured by the German company PD, was a cherished relic, renowned for its craftsmanship and elegant design. These grinders were typically made from high-quality wood and metal, with a precise cast-iron burr grinder mechanism. This allowed users to adjust the fineness of the ground coffee, from coarse to fine, suitable for various brewing methods. Users would place coffee beans into the top hopper, then turn the handle steadily, and the beans would be ground into a fine powder in the lower compartment. The Deus coffee grinder looked like a work of art, a timeless piece of furniture. The gentle click of the crank, the aroma of freshly ground coffee filling the kitchen were special sensory experiences that electric grinders could hardly replicate. Norge gas stove. From the 1930s to the 1960s, the Norge gas stove held a special place in American kitchen appliance history, famous for its durability, efficiency, and mid-century modern design. It was not just a cooking appliance, but a style statement in the contemporary kitchen. Crafted with heavy-gauge porcelain enamel, chrome accents, and solid metal components, Norge gas stoves were designed to withstand decades of use. They were a symbol of innovation, integrating many advanced features for their time, such as even heat ovens, safety valves, built-in timers, oven lights, and glass oven doors. These features enhanced the cooking experience, making it safer, more convenient, and more efficient. Many Norge gas stove models also came in pastel colors or two-tone schemes, reflecting the mid-century modern aesthetic, fitting the interior design trends of that era. 1960s Mary Proctor toaster. The Mary Proctor toaster became a nostalgic icon of the mid-century American kitchen, bringing convenience and efficiency to the breakfasts of millions of families. Manufactured under the Procter Silex brand, this toaster was known for its durability, sleek design, and reliable performance. With a shiny chrome exterior and minimalist design, this toaster typically featured 2 slots and elegant rounded edges. Key features included an automatic pop-up mechanism when the toast was done, adjustable browning control to suit personal preferences, and a removable crumb tray for easy cleaning. These mechanical toasters were built to last, with sturdy internal wiring and heating elements, ensuring efficient operation for many years. Imagine the familiar ding sound as perfectly golden slices of toast popped up, the aroma of toast filling the kitchen every morning. It was an essential part of family breakfast, an energetic start to the new day. If this trip down memory lane has brought a smile to your face and stirred dear memories, please hit the like button, share,